welcome to the channel, beautiful people. Today I'm going to be taking you through a day in my life that is centered around my riding. Now I'm probably going to be oversharing as per usual, so let's get straight to it. I will start my day at roughly 7 AM when I wake up from my very deep sleep, hopefully deep sleep, where I've been dreaming about cycling downhill for roughly 6 hours. I will then have a quick glance at my phone, and it's most likely I will check the BBC weather app. Now I'm checking the weather app to see how it's going to affect my riding today. Hopefully it's not raining. And I will also be looking at the wind. I will then spring out of bed, and if I don't feel like a fully grown buffalo, I will jump on the scales. I do jump on the scales often, however, I don't like to go on them every day. I will then hop, skip and jump down the stairs and begin preparing the same breakfast that I've had for the last year, which is oats, muesli, flaxseed, chia seeds, chopped hazelnuts and desiccated coconuts, and then to top it all off with some almond milk. Delicious. It's perfect. I have it on ride days, I have it on non-ride days. It gets me going. Then I will head to the toilet for my morning ablutions, where I'll see what's going on in the world. If I'm feeling productive, then I will look at Trello and I will see what videos I have planned. I will maybe jot down some notes and some ideas on videos that I can create. If I'm feeling super productive, I may even look at YouTube Studio, which is where I can see all the stats from this YouTube channel, see if anyone's commented, any one of you fine people have commented. And if I'm not feeling productive at all, I will normally just load up Instagram, look at something silly like dogs doing things, because it's funny and I like laughing. At 7:30, I will then head to my desk with my breakfast. I will then consume my breakfast whilst watching something on YouTube. I like to watch channels like Francis Cade, Peter McKinnon, Ali Abdaal. All their video creation is great, so I get inspiration from that, and their actual content is great as well. As I like having a structured routine, I will then look at my training plan and my diet plan that I have on Google Drive. The diet plan I follow kind of loosely, but just glancing at it reminds me, that's what I'm going to be eating today. And the training plan, I normally know what rides I'm going to be doing. Then I will make a quick protein shake, because I like to have protein with every meal, which normally ends in me shaking the protein shake like the maracas around the lounge, because why not? I will then go back to the PC and open up Ride with GPS. Ride with GPS is where I create all my routes. At this stage, I will either look through my existing routes and choose one of them, or if I'm feeling adventurous, I will create a brand new route. I like using Ride with GPS because the route plan has been revamped. They also have Google Street View available, which is very, very important because you can look at street level what each road is like. And I like to plan my routes, and I like to follow my routes quite rigidly because I like to find the best roads. Once the route is complete, or I've decided which route I am taking, I will then sync it with my Garmin 800 cycle computer that has been charging overnight to make sure it lasts the full day ahead. Now I do all of this manually. I know, for a tech guy, it's a little bit backwards, but to be honest, this Garmin 800 device has served me really, really well. If I'm lucky, that will all be completed by 8 o'clock. If it is a really long ride, then that will actually be earlier and I'll leave the house earlier. If I'm unlucky, it may be around 10 o'clock. So with all of that out the way, it's time to make sure that the bike is in tip-top condition and ready to go. So first I will check the tyres and I will pump them up to around 90 PSI. For some reason I'm feeling like that is high at the minute. Let me know in the comments below what PSI you have your tyres at. I'm running GP 5000s 25mm. Once the tyres are all in check, it then gets a little bit lubey. The chain, that is. Get your mind out the gutter. Next up is the water bottles. We need to be taking lots of water on our rides. If it's a 1 hour ride, then I'll just take 1 bottle. If it's anything over an hour, then I will take the 2 bottles. With the bike ready to go and the route all planned, it's probably time that I get dressed. So I will put on my Sportful thermal bib tights. These are really, really good in the cold weather. They're not waterproof, but cold weather, they are perfect. I then have a cheap Decathlon base layer, which honestly does a great job. I will then throw on my Castelli Perfetto jacket, which is a great bit of kit. I purchased it a couple of weeks ago, and honestly it's really, really good. It's nice and light, keeps you super, super warm, and is water resistant. I may do a full review on this channel as well, so do subscribe if you want to see that. Now for my feet, I have the Northwave Extreme GTX winter boots with heated inner soles. Again, these are a recent purchase and these are absolutely amazing. If you haven't had heated inner soles for starters before and you struggle with cold feet, get some heated inner soles. It is an absolute game changer. For my hands, I have Endura neoprene gloves. I would recommend some neoprene gloves. These are actually really good and they're relatively thin as well, so you can still feel the controls, which is a big bonus. I also have my snood, and then I have my glasses and also my helmet. Finally, I have my Mavic overshoes, which are windproof and they do help. Creates a nice seal as well between the boot and the thermal bib tie. Now, once fully dressed, I will then realise that I haven't put my heart rate monitor on because that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I will then proceed to throw my clothes off, install the heart rate monitor, and then put all my clothes back on. You would have thought that after around 20 times of doing that I'd remember, but I don't. Before I run out the front door, I will grab my phone, my keys, my wallet, my GoPro if I'm going to be recording that day, and I will also grab some bars. All of this is going to go in my back pockets, in my jacket, and then it's time for me and my machine to leave the house. It's an emotional moment. Gets me every time. The first thing that I will do on the ride is load up the course that I either created or the one that I decided to follow earlier on in the day. I do have a full video on how to find the best cycle route, so I will leave that in the description below. Now, most of the rides that I am doing at the minute are endurance-based rides. So once I get past that 10 miles, I will literally get my head down, I will focus on my breathing, and I will just push the pedals. Miles and miles, hours of absolute bliss. For those of you that watch my channel, you will understand that I just love riding. For those of you who are new, welcome to the party. Normally when out on the ride, I will stop and get some nice pictures that I can upload to Strava when I upload my ride. Lots and lots of fun, and we love having fun. Don't we, Robin? If it is a ride like today, which was 55 miles, and I'm going to get back at around 12 or 12:30. Now, once I get back home from the ride, I will do my best not to eat absolutely everything in the fridge. But it is quite tempting, although we all know it's best not to absolutely binge eat when you get back, which normally ends up in me ordering a takeaway Vietnamese curry from Pho. But in my defence, it is delicious. After chilling for a bit, I will then probably upload my ride around 2 o'clock to Strava. I do like to have a good old nosy at my stats. I like to check the relative effort as well, so I can see how hard that ride was in comparison to my other rides. If it's a ride that I've done before, I will then maybe check some segments to see how I performed on those segments if I was pushing quite hard. If you analyse your data, you will be able to spot trends, and trends are a good indication of whether you're improving or show you areas you could improve, areas you could get better. And I'm a big advocate of doing that. I'm normally in a great mood after I've completed a ride, so I will just ride that wave for a little bit. Once I actually realise I have no energy left, I will then chill out on the sofa, and chill time normally leads to sleep time. So I'll have a crash on the sofa, have a nice little snooze. If I manage to resurface from my sleep, I will then open up Reddit and look at something like Bike Wrench, which is a subreddit for lots of mechanical bike failures. It is pretty funny. If I'm not feeling productive, I will then potter around for the remainder of the day like a lost lamb. If I am feeling productive, there's a high chance that I will start editing the footage that I recorded on the ride. The clock will tick down, the day's coming to an end, my eyes will start getting heavy, so it's time to hit the hay. The longer the ride, the deeper the sleep. And boy, is it good getting into bed after you've ridden for hours and hours in a day. That has been a day in my life on a ride day. It gives you a little bit of insight into what an average cyclist gets up to. Maybe it's not so average. That's for you guys and girls to decide. So until next time, beautiful humans, self-love and safe riding.